Okay, let's just slow down, take a breather. If you made it to this part, I know it's difficult on YouTube because they're in segments. All the information would be the same, except this would be the next number up, the next part up. So the Locrian arpeggio spans 3 cages, but there's still your G and your A to remind you. This is a G minus, this is an A minus. All right, that means I give it the G right there because a half step above it, or one scale step above it, is the G-shaped C. All right. So spanning down to the C here. Okay, this is the the C minus shape. So we'll talk about that in the next chart. So let's move on to the next chart. So here we can focus right in and finish the Locrian first. Have a rule. The rule is that half diminished shares notes with the Dorian. Here's the Dorian. Okay, and here's the half diminished. Alright, they pretty much share notes. All you have to do is add the 7th, or that half diminished 7th note. Just add that to the Dorian, and you could even keep the 6th, because the 6th is you know, the 7th of the Dorian, so it's not bad. It's like hitting a 7th chord. Alright, we're looking for similarities here in shapes. I'm not looking to give you an easy substitution. This sounds like this. Okay, so it's the Dorian substitution would be the G minor 2 minor. We talked about that. This guy up here. See these numbers? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2. This is the Locrian box. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2. It's right there. All you had to do is add the 7. That's what I'm talking about. The way you play it is the way you play it. If you're doing something jazzy you don't mind, you know, that's fine. I'm not giving you a watered down substitution. Speaking of water. So, isn't that beautiful? I get a little cotton mouth. So, we're going to use the G minor substitution in the Dorian there. Okay. And we're going to use the A minor substitution for the box next below it. All right. And then as far as cage, this will go into the I guess it would be the C minor shape, the C minor Dorian shape here, and this would also be the D minor Dorian shape. So we're just going across in minors here. They all are the same box. They all have a bunch of 2s and 4s. So that's very interesting now, and we're going to get to that. That's going to be on one of the other. Now, there's another substitution. You can use the 5, and we talked about that in a previous lesson, but we're not going to use that today. I found it's better to stick with 2 minor for now, and we'll get to the 5 when my conscience gets to me. Alright? But the 2 minor works very well. So we're spanning 4 boxes there. Now, you might ask yourself, why is the E minor up here and it wasn't in the other it wasn't in the other chart? The other chart, we only had A and G, where here's our arpeggio for the Dorian, 2, 4, 6, 6, 2, 4, 6. Why is this include the E there? And the reason is because the Dorian starting on the 2, it's only proper to start the Dorian. I'm going to do it an octave lower now. It's only proper to start the Dorian from the 2. So this is the E cage. So it's the E minor cage. It's going to be a G shape to be like. Okay, it's an E minor shaped 2 minor in the key of C is going to be D minor. Okay, so 6, 2, 4 is A, D, F. That's your D minor shape. Okay, so it'd be alright. And that's going to be in the G shape. So that's why this is included now, because here's your arpeggio going off to the left or down the fretboard, but here is the build of the pentatonic build starting from. So this is including. We want to know this too, believe me. We want to know this too. And what's the next letter in caged? What's the next letter of a pentatonic scale after E in the key of C? It goes C, A, E, G. So that's why we use the G-shaped substitution over it. Okay, so that's the reason why we have that. I'm including that in this chart. All right, that's very good. Zoom out a little bit. Now this is a little messy here. All right, but we can look at this. So we're up in this. We've included this now. So we've included the E cage here. Now the E is major, but it's a major minus. Right. So the 7 to play over that 2 minor. All right, in an E shape, we're going to cheat a little bit, is going to be a G shape there, right? So this is like a G shape half diminished. Wow, I didn't know you could do a pentatonic half diminished. I didn't know. Okay, that sounds to me like a I guess a D, because that would be like a D major, right? We don't want a D major. All right, so hang on. All right, I had to think about something. Yeah, a G shape at this point, G shape. All right, starting from the Locrian 7th, is actually one of those substitutions for a minor. All right, so it's not going to be a sure it'd be like a D major, but it'd be like going off of the 6th minor of that D major. So all right, so it gets a little complicated, but that would be what you would play over this one, which is a G minor 2nd minor, and that G minor 2nd minor right here. Okay, the G minor shaped one is actually here, I believe, where we're starting from. Actually, it'd be here because we're using a substitution. So this is the beginning of the Dorian arpeggio, okay? Like that. The Dorian arpeggio is all over this because we're doing a Dorian substitution. You just add the 7 in there, you know, and so it's a starting point difficulty. I'll look into this afterwards for next time. But we have to really kind of look at this chart here and realize the other things work without a hitch, right? We don't have to make a substitution for the Ionian, the Dorian, the Phrygian. So in the Phrygian,